Welcome to Opportune TV, your premier destination for unlimited entertainment. Opportune Television, your TV, ask for more. Welcome to Opportune TV, your premier destination for unlimited entertainment. Opportune Television, your TV, ask for more. Welcome to Opportune TV, your premier destination for unlimited entertainment. Opportune Television, your TV, ask for more.
Local governments are closest to the people, yet far from performances. And then we have a lot of questions. Why are we experiencing this in Nigeria? A lot of questions, on the minds of every citizen as regards who is going to, lead us to the promised land. And we've heard about the local government autonomy. We are looking forward to the coming election on Saturday. And somebody said yesterday on the program that, Mariam, aren't you going to talk about this election? Then I said, okay, we will do that on the program this morning. And that's why I have reputable personalities joining me at our studios this morning, where we will be examining the core of grassroots governance. On my right hand and my left hand side, I have a prestigious, they are two prestigious people. And I have this, wow, what am I going to be asking them? What should I ask them? They have the power. They know the power. They are experienced. And first off, I'm going to be, introducing Mr. Bola Wale, a public affairs analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my sister. Thank you for
How are
having me
you
here.
doing today?
I'm okay.
All right, I can see that. And also, a big name in Lagos State. And how do I even introduce you this morning, sir? Because Lydia has been saying, I've been begging him since last year to come on our program, and he's been busy, very, very busy. He's the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Parastatal Monitoring Office. He's no other but the most prestigious Honorable Ibrahim Babajide Obanikoro, IBO. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning, sir. Very well, thank you, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. So I think these two people are in the right, corner to do the decision making on what comes on Saturday. Maybe not, but we are not going to be doing a direct, justification of what comes up. Rather, we are going to be, telling you what you should expect and how you should, contribute your own quota as a citizen. Wherein, so we will be discussing the topic enhancing efficiency and accountability in local government administration. So I'm going to be starting with you. You are the special advisor to the governor, and it is most honorable for us at Opportunity TV to have you here. And I want to ask you, sir, a lot has been happening. The first thing people consider is the godfatherism thing, that even before you choose your local government chairman, the godfather is the one that decides who handles this very ward, who becomes the councillor. Now, talking about the local government chairman, they are the one that will say, okay, I am the one to pick the local government chairman. And I had a chat with someone yesterday. He said, okay, we do not have a problem in Lagos State. APC is going unopposed. And talking to a barrister, he said, no, it's just a kind of, push to make people feel like, okay, they cannot be challenged. What is that godfatherism factor that we can work, on to ensure that we do not, experience that anymore in Lagos State? Let's look at Lagos now.
First of all, godfatherism is not it's not a negative aspect of life the way people are trying to
Portray it.
It's godfatherism these are leaders that have experience, that have been through whatever it is we upcoming politicians have been through, and in a better position to guide us. Like they say in my language, that where you, a young man, is standing and stretching and trying to see what's coming from afar, the elderly will sit down and tell you exactly what's coming. That's where it's all over the world. And you're referring to the selection of our candidates.
Yes, sir.
It's not singular. The candidates were not singularly handpicked by an individual. All wards and local governments have what we call apex leaders. The apex leaders will sit down and decide who best to carry on with the continuity of our local government affairs. And in a situation where they cannot come together to agree on a unanimous candidate, they allow you to go and conduct your primaries, where the delegates will elect who they want as their candidate. And that's what happened for the most part for us in May. The delegates were the ones that decided who they wanted to represent us in this upcoming election.
So, sir, looking at what you just, explained, how can we balance, politics with professionalism? Now, you just said it's not a singular decision of a particular godfather, that someone must have done something, spectacular to have been chosen. So, how can we just, let professionalism, take its course?
Well, I mean, politics itself, to some of us, is a way of life. It's what we do.
I can see that.
It's what we do for the most part. So, we are professionals about it, and we have to remain professional. And what's been what does it take to be professional? Means you have to be matured, you have to exercise patience, you have to be able to tolerate others, and you have to be able to understand the situation, where things are, where they're going, where they're
Okay.
coming from. These are the things that makes you a professional, and the ability to just make that decision that will be best for everybody,
Everybody.
and that will last the test of time. And that is what we try to do in politics,
Okay.
as a form of professionalism. And I think so far, to the best of my knowledge, the party has done extremely well in handling our primaries, the reconciliation exercise, the rallies we have done, the campaigns we have done until today. I think we have been able to handle it professionally, in my assessment.
All right, sir. Sir, let's come to Mr. Bola now, sir. Sir, you've worked with several personalities, big people in the society, governors, minister, and at a point you were a special advisor to the president on, and the question, I need to ask you this morning is that some people don't even know their local government chairman, talk more, or should I say less, of the ward councillor. Now, we are talking about accountability. How then can we hold them, accountable at what they are doing? And is there any thing that we can, adopt as digital tools, since we all announced digitization here and there? And I must give kudos to Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. He has, done this practically well. How can we hold them accountable?
Thank you very much.
Most welcome, sir.
Yes, Mr. Abanikore, thank you for your exposition.
Thank you.
Thank you,
See,
sir.
Godfatherism is not an anathema like people want us to believe. In every area, you have mentors and mentees. I'm a pastor. Somebody mentored me to become a pastor, and I'm also mentoring some people. That's some element of Godfatherism, if you want to use that word. But people have bastardized the word. Some of the countries that we look at that are making it very well, like China, for instance. What they have there is mentorship. You don't just become the president of China. You don't just become governor. You must be mentored. You have passed through the rudiments. They have seen professionalism. They have seen some of the attributes he mentioned, that you are able to carry people along. You are patient. You are mature. You have professionalism. You know your onions. And then it is then that you can be put forward for position. You don't just put anybody. Don't just have a situation where somebody just wake up tomorrow and say, I want to be councillor, I want to be chairman, and you can't even interrogate him. Where are you coming from? What have you learned? Where is your expertise? So all those things we must first of all look at all those things before people are put forward. So it is now the quality of people that we put forward that will determine whether the mentoring or the godfatherism is good for us or not. It is not that system per se that is bad. It is the product of the system that we must look at. If we end up putting good people, competent people, qualified people in positions, but that is what we want, then there will be good governance. And when there's good governance, it will percolate from the top to the grassroots that we are talking about. Now, why is it that we don't have grassroots participation, so to say, in governance? It is because there is what we call political apathy. Political apathy comes from the results when people have lost confidence in the political system. Why do they lose confidence? They lose confidence if they feel that it is not benefiting them and they will not benefit. They lose confidence if they feel that their vote does not count. Whether they vote or they don't vote, the winners will be declared. When elections are not credible, then there will be political apathy. When there is violence, people will want to stay away. I don't want to get killed because of elections. In those days, when they will snatch ballot boxes, when they will fire guns and things like that at polling stations, and people will prefer to stay away. And when people feel that, oh, this election, whether I vote or I don't vote, the result is already known. They have already determined who will win, who will not win. Then people will not just want to bother themselves. But that is counterproductive. Until we all participate, until we do not abandon the field for some people, it is then that we can have grassroots participation. Grassroots participation is necessary for us to have good governance. That is what people must understand.
Yes, sir.
If you don't participate, then you deserve whatever you get. But if you participate, you will be able to decide or determine that this is what I want, this is what I don't want. And those of them who are professional politicians, like my brother here, and I know that is also.
I love the fact that he mentioned professional,
Yes.
because we have people, you know, with this mindset that if you are a politician in Nigeria, then you must be a rogue, a hoodlum, or
No, not
something.
necessarily, not necessarily.
That's the thought of many Nigerians, and that's why youths mostly, some youths do not want to, you know, participate in the act of governance.
That is the wrong perception.
It is what I know, because when I mentioned this topic on my ex handle, and some people were saying that, oh, Miriam, why? Because you're not going to even, you know, have a feel of what governance look like at the grassroots. You don't even get to, you know, access them when necessary.
That is also wrong, because it is not when you get.
Sir, you can say it is not. Sir, you can say it is wrong. But okay, let me give you this instance. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said he wants to give out student loan, and one of the, you know, factors that you, or things that you have to, you know, have as a student is maybe a notary public, and also somebody at a level 16 officer, and also you should be able to, you know, get the stamp or signature of your local government chairman. And somebody said when he got to the local government, he gave this example, and we can even talk to him over the phone, and he said when he got to the local government, he had to pay the secretary, because she was asking that you cannot see the chairman unless you pay your way through. So he now said, what's the need? Why should I even participate in the, you know, local government thing? Because maybe unfortunately in the when I need them, I won't, you know, have access to them. So it is the politicians that need to change that mindset now.
I believe that in recent times,
yes, sir,
a lot of the political active individuals have tried to make themselves accessible. And I would speak for myself. I have a Twitter handle, which is so now X handle, at one your neighbor. And then I'm also on Instagram, which is at Rev Ibrahim Obanikoro. And we also have an email, ibocampaign@gmail.com. We have all this mode of communication just so that you can have access to us. And my phone number is the same. I've been using it since MTN came to Nigeria.
Yes, and you're quite accessible.
No intentions of changing it. You know? So I believe that is my own way of giving back to those that don't have access to the powers that be, or to the channel they are trying to get to. I try to make myself, if I don't communicate with you, be rest assured that you have abused it at some point in one way or the other. But those that have been mindful, respectful, and matured in communication.
I remember the first time I put a call through to you, you picked the call.
And a lot of people are like that too. They try to make themselves available to those that are in need and don't have that channel or means to get to the end game or end point that they are trying to reach. So I think that narrative is changing. People are beginning to make themselves accessible as well, because even your constituents also demand it. That one of the, especially if you are trying to get re-elected and you're not accessible, it can be your, your downfall. So that mindset is changing. If you have to be accessible one way or the other, there are numerous ways of being accessible. You know, so like when I was a member of the National Assembly, Mondays and Fridays used to be our public, visiting days. Monday mornings before I go to Abuja, I try to attend to as many people as I can, and then Friday evenings when I come back to Abuja, I'm going to the constituency office to try and attend to as many people as I can. So, and I'm sure a few other people are like that as well.
So the most important thing about parastatals, local government, and all. I want to quickly delve into this topic, local government autonomy. Let's talk about the autonomy, the financing of the local government, and transparency.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, especially here in Lagos, our local governments have been autonomous for a while. They've been operating independently for a while. Yes, as a government, you can't operate independently. You have to work in synchronization with other local governments, with the state government and the federal government. And I believe that in Lagos State, we are still setting the trend, and we're still an exemplary to others in the nation, how local government and state governments are operating together to make sure that, at the end of the day, it's all about our constituents, about the residents of Lagos State, that they are getting some relief in life. It's still a yardstick for us to go, but at least we're taking it one step at a go. So, and in terms of their, fiscal allocations from the federal government, I believe that our local governments do receive their allocations, and majority of them also, it can be transparent what they are doing. We just have to be involved to see it. I shy away from trying to say that I see it because I have access to it. So I implore others to also go out of their way, pay attention to this local government, the way these guys are running their office. If you ask questions, I can bet you will get answers. If you don't find it online, if you go to the local government, they'll respond to you.
And you think the transparency is at least 80%. So what do you have to say as regards that? Because it is only transparency. When they are transparent and open to the people, then we can have trust in the local government. Sir, please.
Yeah, the problem is with us. Every attention is focused on the federal government and state government. We forget that there is local government administration, which is supposed to be the nearest to the grassroots.
Yeah, the closest to the people.
If there is no electricity, federal government. If there is no water, federal government. Insecurity, federal government. Education, federal government. Everything is federal government because of the centralized presidency that we are practicing. Because we have not yet mastered it. In a place like the US, for instance, you ask a lot of people, they don't even know. They have nothing to do with their state government. They have nothing to do with the president. It doesn't concern them. Whatever Donald Trump is doing is none of their business because it doesn't affect them. They only know about their county. They only know about their local government. And that is, it is at that level that their life is run. It is at that level that the things are made or are mad. So, but here, everything is Abuja. You want to collect a fiscal allocation like he has said, you go to Abuja. You want this, you go to Abuja. You want that, you go to Abuja. That is why people are asking that we should have restructuring in such a way that power can now, and duties of government can now be shifted from the federal level, from the president, from Abuja to the local governments. It is when we have that, people will begin to take more interest in the local governments. In a situation now where everything you need, you have to go to Abuja, nobody reckons with the local government. But with the local government autonomy now, I have seen a trend. More and more people now are going for local government chairmanship. More and more people are going to contest as councillors at local government. People that would never have done that before. They have seen now that, power is shifting to the local government. So people are going there. So attention too will shift to the local government as time goes by. And then we'll find a situation where the local government chairmen and councillors will not have the liberty, the freedom they have now to do as they please without anybody challenging them. So there's going to be more focus on them. There's going to be more attention to them. Their feet will be held to the fire. They will have to be up and doing, perform more, and then governance, good governance, will now begin to trickle down to the grassroots.
I think I have to go to that local good governance. Sir, how can we, as people, how can we demand good local governance?
You see, like, I'm of a school of thought where, as a people, we make up our government. I'm sure foreigners or aliens don't rule us. We elect our people. So it's a relationship where you rub my back, or you rub my palms, I rub your palms, or you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So, and I, as a people, at some point we need to also sit back and see how can we help our government, because majority of the flaws that we have are from we as a people, both as civil servants, both as public servants and as citizens. So until we all come together and decide, okay, this is our boundary, that's our boundary, and we all respect our boundaries, and I think we can now begin to have more semblance of governance. Because any small thing like my boss said here, you're pointing at the government. You have the slightest of issues within your compound. You're looking at the government's in power. We need to all understand the roles that each government play. We need to understand the roles of the federal government, the roles of the state government, and that of the local government, which is the closest to us, and which we all happen to always forget that they do exist. So local governments are the ones that are nearest to you. They're the ones that you can reach out to at every given time. They're in charge of your streets. They're in charge of majority of the things that you think the state and federal government are supposed to be doing. No, it's the local government. So let us, concentrate, face our local government. Elections are coming. Look at those that have been campaigning to you. Look at the messages that are being passed, and then decide on where you want. Do you want to continue with the current administration, or do you want a new party to take over? For me, I know where I belong. I know where I stand. I have seen what some of our chairmen have done with their physical allocation that is being allotted to them every month, and I'm not trying to sing or praise.
You can't even do that here.
You can.
All right, so I'm looking at what you just mentioned, that if you like to vote this very party, then you can continue, and if you want some other party, you can continue. Can we quickly have a shift of topic into the ongoing buzz on the social media and off social media, which is the coalition, standing. They're standing, and they're saying that they are so prepared to unseat the ruling party. I know you really do not want to talk about this, but let's look at it a little bit. Looking at what is happening, you have several opposition leaders come together, to say this openly, even though there is no law that is standing against them. As said by one of our barristers, he said there is no law, that can fight them for this that they have, declared. But do you think there is, or should I just ask that, what do you think is the fate of APC in the coming elections 2027? And looking at it now, the grassroots election is coming up. Do you think that we are going to be having a kind of BBB on the hearts of people?
This local government elections?
Yes. Is it going to affect it? And come 2027, what's the fate of APC?
I like to, like I say, every election is local.
Every election is local?
Yes, the only election that is not local is maybe the presidency. But your governorship, your House of Reps, your Senate, your House of Reps, your Assembly, they are local elections. And the most local is the local government and the councillor, which are coming up. So it's key that everybody pay attention. And speaking of the coalition that you are talking about, I don't see it as a movement yet. There has to be a movement. I mean, if I wasn't partisan, if I was just an observer or your regular citizen. There has to be a movement. There has to be a reason why you're coming together. Why you're justifying
but then they gave a reason. They said they want to unseat the present administration led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you very much. Yes, they want to, by force, by fire, by all means, they want to unseat the president, and they've not come to bear towards that. This is what we would do better. And don't forget that we all know that if I'm watching a football match, I'm better than all the players on the field. Because the passes that they are not seeing, I'm seeing it, and I'm saying passes like this, passes like this. Oh, no, why would you pass like that? You know, commentators are the best players. Until you sit down on that seat and you have all the information coming left, right, center, and then you can see how tough it is to decide that, okay, 100 bags of rice are going to go to Northwest. Oh no, I can't send 100 bags of rice to Northwest because Southwest also have, you know, their needs. Until you sit on that seat and you realize that it's not just by books or by pen and paper. You can all come together and try to, you know, unseat the current government. And it is obvious that it's, I mean, yes, politics is about interest, and they've all come together because their interests are not being met. They're trying to see how their interests can be met. And when you also have to look at, you know, antecedents of these players that we're looking at. We've all seen what, at least all of them have been in government at some point. You know, some minister for interior, and for 8 years you couldn't get your passport if you don't know who was who at the customs office. But today the aspirants are getting their passport within a week, within hours. You know, and so many other. Abuja has been. You can see what Wike is doing. You know, launching roads on a daily basis. Why have all these guys that want to be in government? Why didn't all these things happen back then? And I can go on and on and on, but I don't want to.
I don't want it to seem like you're campaigning
to your program. But as you know, like I said, I'm trying to be as, you know, trying to toe the line as you know,
as a regular
not
Nigerian.
To be like I'm campaigning for our party here, but as a Nigerian, and luckily for me, I'm in the game. I can see that they have nothing to offer Nigerians other than them just trying to come and, you know, secure their interest. That's all I can see.
All right, let's wrap it up. Sir, what's your take on the coalition?
Yeah, coalitions are nothing new. We've always had coalitions, we've always had alliances from the First Republic up to now. The present government, it's also as a result of
coalition. Abubakar said in 2015 they did the same thing to, you know, push PDP out of power.
They had more time, and you could genuinely see that they had a movement that they were moving with.
Okay.
Right now, I'm sorry, I don't see
any movement.
The movement.
All right.
Yes, maybe they still have time because we are in
2025.
And we're talking about 2026.
But this shouldn't even be our, you know.
2026.
Yes, 2026.
Yes, 2026. Yeah.
Well, what I think really is that each and every one of them that are putting up this coalition, they have a past. We can assess them. So there is no one among them that is new. And so they are not going to tell us stories that we cannot authenticate or falsify. So they have no hiding place. They are like golden fish. Whether you talk about Atiku Abubakar, or you talk about Peter Obi, or you talk about El Rufai, and all of them like that. So they have a mountain to climb, because they have to tell us what they did when they were in government, why they didn't do this, why they didn't do that. You know, people get wiser by the day. When they get out of office, that is when they now begin to say, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. But while there, why did they not do it? What did you not do? What should you have done when you were there as vice president? What should you have done? What did you do as governor, as ministers? So people are going to actually interrogate them. So it is easier said than done. You can criticize better than when you are the one that is there, that's, like you said, facing the fire, looking at all the options and having the difficult problem of making a choice. I have been there before, and I
Yeah.
know it's very difficult. In our little corners, it's difficult to make choices. So, but coalition is good for our democracy. Let them come. Let us see what they will offer us, what they will do better. Let them come out with their policies, their manifesto. Let them come campaigning, and let's ask them questions. You were governor of Kaduna.
But are they ready to answer the questions?
Of course, we have to force them to answer, and then whether they give us an answer or not, when we get to the polling booth, we will decide.
All right, like we will decide on Saturday, our councillors and local government chairman, and beyond the ballots, there is this very big question: are they going to deliver real change? And the the representative here has a very, very, very big answer to give us. But then, do well to wrap it up.
Okay. Saturday we have elections on Saturday, and there has been some form shape of progress in Lagos, whether we like it or not, and we are asking that you allow us to continue what we are doing. There's a blueprint, a master print that we are following.
But outside your own, do you think that whether this very party emerges as the local government chairman or emerges as the councillor, whichever party emerges, do they really have the real change to offer us as residents of that local government area?
I can speak for my party. I believe that like I said, we have a blueprint that we're following. There's a destination that we are going, and I believe that with the guys behind the wheels, we're going to get to that destination. Continue to see momentum, progress in our local governments and our wards.
We are going to see momentum, progress. All right, we go on a short break. Majorly, I have to wrap up the session with the honorable himself, honorable for the youths, because he answers us. The first time I called him, he picked his calls, and I messaged him, and Lydia was like, I've been calling him now, I've been messaging him, but he's not been responding. But fortunately for me, maybe I woke up on the good side of the bed, and God answered my prayer that, okay, you bring him to the studio.
Timing.
All right, the timing was favorable.
Maybe
yes.
I was abroad or something. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Lydia is apologizing to you. Okay. Thank God we have him at our studios this morning, and he's done justice to how best we can enhance the efficiency of local government chairman. We'll go on a short break, but our very own Mr. Bola Wale is still here with us at the studio, but Honorable Ibrahim Obanikoro will be leaving us, but then he said he can join us on Zoom or some other time. Well, are you ready to have him on the program some other time? For me, yes, and for every other person, yes. So we see him some other time. We'll go on a short break. Mary Agobo comes with the business stories. Please stay tuned.